St. Louis kind of had a rep as a dangerous city.
Yeah.
For a while, but
Not kinda.
We'll talk about how dangerous it is.
It's a rough place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love St. Louis. I was born and raised there. I lived downtown for...
What's the problem with St. Louis?
Crime. Just too much crime. Just too much crime.
Why?
Is it poverty filled or?
There's definitely have a shortage of police officers. I mean, that's a major, major, major issue. We were just talking about football, and we got all that Rams settlement money, and nobody knows where it's going. A great spot would be to hire some police officers, but it's not my decision. And I'm not even sure if we even know whose decision it is right now. It's just such a disaster. It's unfortunate. I hope to God it changes because...
And it's even the lack of cops has even spilled over into probably increased car accidents and danger on the highways, right?
Yeah.
And you were saying that there was like a famous intersection in St. Louis that there's always accidents at.
Yeah, I think that really the two major areas is all of downtown and then by St. Louis University. Grand, right at Highway 40 near Reinhardt Hall at SLU.
Okay. And what kind of accidents or why is it dangerous?
A lot of pedestrian accidents. You've got a lot of students that are crossing the street there. It's very congested and people trying to beat lights. I don't know why that area is that way because when I drive through there, I'm like a grandma barely moving because I don't want to hit anybody. But you see it happening, and I just don't get it.
I'm curious, what some folks, they're in this circumstance, right? Someone gets hit in a crosswalk or, someone blows through a light and there's a car accident. Is there responsibility for the city planners or the aldermen or the councilmen or to make sure that a known dangerous intersection is mitigated? They're just going to do something.
I believe so, and there's experts out there that you definitely, if you're going to have a case, you would need an expert to come in and testify about that. But yeah, I definitely think that you can look at city or municipal liability for dangerous intersections. It's pretty well known. And there's situations of where you've got signs that are blocking things, that there could be liability outside of just the actual drivers of the car. But yeah, I absolutely think that you should be pointing the finger at the city or the municipalities for having these intersections that are just complete disasters.
Have you ever dealt with anyone that's been in an accident in St. Louis or have you had a relative get in an accident in St. Louis?
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad when it happens because it's, you want people to come to the city to enjoy it. And when it happens, it's just like, I can't believe this happened to somebody I know.
That it really is terrible. You see these in every city has it. There's one particularly famous intersection. It's actually an exit ramp on a highway in Seattle where it's a known accident. I mean, there are people flying off the highway at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, just crashing straight into parked cars because it's just a problem and nobody's doing anything about it.
I actually was in a car accident myself, getting off an exit ramp. There was some construction going on, and there was barriers on the left-hand side, and it made the exit ramp a lot more narrow, and so I kind of had to shift to the right. Well, my wheel got stuck like over the curb, and there was too much of a disparity between the dirt and the curb, and I couldn't turn my wheel. But when I could, I overcorrected and smoked the median, and then almost ended up in the ditch.
Wow.
Dallas, Texas, Live Oak and Munger Street is one of the most dangerous places that you can be on a Friday or Saturday night. After like midnight, people stop using the lights. Like red light, just going right through it.
Wait,
and like,
a light there?
There's a light there. Yeah. And
no, it is bad.
Damn it, Bill.
It is a bad intersection.
I have seen so many I am not exaggerating when I've seen in the last year 6 or 7 cars totaled at just that intersection. And like people should be going 35, 45 miles an hour. And you have cars blowing past the red light, drunk, racing 60, 65 miles per hour. And it's crazy because it's such a wide intersection. You feel like you have all these space. But then there's these blind spots where multiple lanes are coming over. And it's just full on accidents, like cars totaled, like, and it's wild, like, and it's like at that point, okay, you got to put speed bumps in because they're not listening to the lights.
I had mentioned earlier the Grand Avenue at Highway 44 right by SLU. When I was investigating a pedestrian crash there, I just went down to the scene, and started looking for cameras, and I found one, and it was an apartment complex where students live. I just walked in and explained I was investigating an accident involving a pedestrian, and the girl working the front desk actually showed me the video, and she was like, I cannot tell you how many of these I see.
Wow.
I cannot tell you how often this happens.
I mean, I feel like the parents who are sending their kids to St. Louis University, right where this intersection is, need to know, right? I mean, the university, I don't want to say that the university has responsibility, but they at least have some type of moral duty to say, hey, you need to be well aware of how dangerous this is. Because, one, when I was a college kid, I was a moron. I also know that most other college kids are morons. And so they're maybe not morons in the sense that they're not intelligent or they don't have something going on, but they're not paying attention or assuming that this intersection has been designed and is maintained in a dangerous way. It's a big problem.
That they should be, I think in every college campus, there should be in your orientation at least an hour on traffic safety and like some sort of information on traffic, because every city's different. If you're from a town that only has 15 people, you don't know how things work. So pay attention to that, and it takes an hour. They're going to be bored out their mind, but if they take at least 5 or 10% of that, you're going to have a little bit more safe streets because of that, because they're learning more about traffic stuff.
That's wise.
I think that's one of the things they should do on college campuses, in military bases, everywhere. It should just be some sort of informational thing about how the traffic works in the city that you're in.
I think you just cap it at 20 miles an hour. That's it.
Hit us up in the comment section with what intersection you think is the most dangerous in the country, and this is hardly legal. If you have a crazy legal story and you want to talk to some lawyers anonymously, for free, call us.
Wait, we're not getting paid?
Nothing at all. I don't know how we're going to pay for it, to be honest.